Hello and welcome to another off work video. Today's episode is called 100 Ways Patch and Play, where I'm going to show you how to program and perform the synth solo from James Ingram's 100 Ways. This song was brought to my attention because a friend of mine heard it sampled in MF Doom's Rhymes Like Dimes. You can hear a similar sound in Pages If I Ever See You Again, which was sampled by Macintosh Plus. I'll have links to all those songs in the description. So yeah, it's a pretty cool subtractive synthesis brass sound. I'm going to be making it on my Behringer Model D. I can't be sure that they played it on a Mini Moog, but I think that this synthesizer gets it pretty close. Let's dive in. Most of this patch is going to be in reference to an article on Sound on Sound called Brass Synthesis on the Mini Moog. There's a whole treasure trove of synth secrets written by Gordon Reed, I believe. You should definitely check it out. So this sound is very similar, but it's a little darker. I added a little bit of resonance and a little bit of decay and release to smooth things out. So if we look over first at the range knob, we're going to bump that up to 4 because we want an upper register kind of a trumpety sound. Next, we'll look at the waveform. Keep that at a sawtooth because a sawtooth creates a complete harmonic series, which is coincidentally what brass instruments do as well. So now that we've got that on, we're going to take a look at the amp envelope. We want a little bit of breath in our sound, so we're going to turn the attack up to 10 milliseconds. You know, the player has to blow into the instrument. Sustain, we're going to keep at 10, and decay, we're going to put at around 10 milliseconds as well. We're not actually going to hear the decay stage of the envelope because the sustain is set at 10. But if we turn the loudness decay on, that creates a release based on the sound or the time of the decay. So now that we have the loudness set, we're going to start by dropping the filter cutoff all the way down to 0 and turning keyboard tracking on 100. If you don't know about keyboard tracking, this replicates the behavior of acoustic instruments by making brighter sounds or higher sounds brighter and lower sounds darker by slowly adjusting the position of the cutoff if you're playing a higher note or a lower note. So next for attack, we're going to set the attack longer than the loudness attack because we want to hear those initial low harmonics, but then the upper harmonics over time. That's how a brass instrument sounds. And then next we'll be looking at the decay. We'll turn that at around 600. Turn the decay, filter decay on, and sustain at around 4. Let's start turning the amount of contour knob so we can start hearing the effect of this filter envelope. We're pretty close, but we still need to set the resonance at around 3 to get a little bit of whomp in our sound. So this is pretty much everything, except we still need to address modulation. We're going to come over and turn oscillator modulation on. We're going to create a vibrato effect with the LFO set to a triangle wave. To get a proper vibrato effect, you want a amount of 5 or 6 hertz for your speed, something I got from the Sound on Sound article, and the mod depth set to 0 because we're actually going to be controlling that with the mod wheel as we'd like. So now we're going to get into actually playing the part. So as for the key and the notes, most of the notes are derived from the E flat major pentatonic scale, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6 of the major scale. They all sound very consonant over all of the chords. So let's start with the first figure here. One thing that we have all over the place in this solo are grace notes, little chromatic steps up to the note that we're about to play that just makes it sound a lot funkier. So you're going to be hearing that all over this solo. So to continue, we're going to be using the pitch wheel, the mod wheel, and the pitch wheel again. So that figure at a little bit of a faster speed goes. So you can see how this part really comes to life with the performance aspect of the synthesizer. I'll play everything that we have up until this point so far. All right, on to the second half of the solo. It's a lot of the same tricks, pitch bend and grace notes. That one bend is really cool because you're actually bending up 2 semitones and then to the middle and then down 2 semitones. That's an important thing to talk about as well. Pitch wheel, I have this program to go, as I said, up 2 semitones, down 2 semitones. That is a very musical approach to the pitch wheel and how a lot of them were programmed back in the day. But of course, now you can change that to be an octave, 2 octaves, whatever you want. So let me play that whole section again a little bit faster. All right, got a little ahead of myself there, but I'm just going to keep going. And that's the whole solo. Let me play it in its entirety. All right, there you have it. That's the first episode of Patch and Play. I hope you learned something. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll just play us out one more time with that solo with a backing track that I recorded as well. Have fun.